Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. There are so many special guests here tonight from Australia. Former Prime Minister Tony Abbott, former Defense Minister Christopher Pyne, Attorney General Christian Porter, Deputy Labour Party Leader Richard Marles. Welcome to you all and all your delegation. From the UK, great friend, Lord Eric Pickles, Dame Louise Ellman, Barnice Meta Ramsey, honored guests, welcome to Israel. It is wonderful to have you with us here in Jerusalem. My dear friend, Albert Dadon, thank you for all you do to promote this important forum during the years, the International Institute for Strategic Leadership Dialogue. And I want to add, thank you for your personal friendship during all those years. Thank you so much. Members of Parliament from all three nations, Ambassador, Director General of Israeli Foreign Ministry, Mr. Yuval Rotem, also a former ambassador in Australia, ladies and gentlemen. I want to start by sending my sincere congratulations to Prime Minister Boris Johnson for his great victory. Prime Minister Johnson is a great friend of Israel and the Jewish community in the United Kingdom. Israel will always stand with the United Kingdom, working together in trade, innovation, academia, as well as in security cooperation. Friends, it is not usual, it is not common for foreign politicians to comment on the domestic politics of another country, especially an ally. But I don't think we can understate, I don't think we can underestimate the importance of what happened in the United Kingdom in the elections last Thursday. We are joined by some of the heroes of a battle. Ian Austin, Dame Louise Ellman, the Right Honourable John Ryan, who stood up against this hatred within their party. Highly appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you for your bravery on behalf of the Jewish people. And here, from Jerusalem, I want to thank the British people for rejecting Jeremy Corbyn and his clear hatred of Israel and the Jewish people. The British people have rejected a man who stood with Hamas and Hezbollah. They have rejected a man who led his party to be the home of anti-Jewish and anti-Israel hatred. I hope we will look back at Corbyn's labor as a distant memory, a bad dream. But friends, anti-Semitism is alive. The defeat of Corbyn has not changed that. We cannot forget this, not even for one moment. On the left and the right, there are those who obsess above all else with their hatred of Jews. Some hide it more cleverly. Some leave it out in the open for all to see. We must stand together against this. I want to thank Attorney General Porter for his firm stand he took today against BDS and anti-Semitism. The deep bipartisan friendship between Israel and Australia has seen us sign new taxation agreements, and now with direct flights from Australia to Israel. We can visit each other more easily and build our friendship even stronger. Friends, you are here as part of a strategic leadership dialogue, and I know that central to your discussions is the potential to bring a peaceful solution to the conflict in this land and in this region. As one campaigning these days to lead my party and to lead my country, I feel I should be very clear. Around the world, the words two-state solution remain a kind of certificate of acceptance. You can be right or left as long as you accept the two-state solution. I have to tell you, this is not a helpful position to my mind. It is not a helpful position because the two-state solution is not really a solution. It is a two-state illusion. And it is an illusion that we have been under for far too long. It failed for already 80 years or more than 80 years, beginning with the Peel Commission in 1937 under the British mandate, through to the UN Partition Plan of 1947, negotiations, bilateral negotiations during the times of Barack, Olmert, and Netanyahu as prime ministers. The Palestinians have never been able to accept such a compromise, even when presented with the most generous offers by Israeli prime ministers. The truth is that Israel, as a small state, and has suffered from the withdrawals and surrender of territory, these voids have always been filled by even more extreme terror groups, not interested in peace, but in using the new territorial gains to attack us, to attack Israel. Does this solution offer Israel security? If we look at Gaza, where we withdrew to the 1967 border, the answer would be no. Is Israel more secure after withdrawing from Gaza? No. With 1 million Israeli citizens living in bomb shelters. The idea of another failed Arab state, and it will be failed, in the heart of the land of Israel, a few miles from here, is not acceptable in any way. Another Arab state without a viable economy, without a free society. Will the addition of such a state bring us closer to peace? No, it will make the dream of peace even further away. Does such a state even offer the Palestinians what they want? No. Let's be honest. They want Jerusalem as their capital. And let me be clear again, Jerusalem will never again be divided. Jerusalem is the eternal capital of the Jewish people, and only ever the Jewish people. The Palestinians want the so-called right of return. Israel cannot tolerate a situation whereby so-called refugees after more than 7 decades, that's quite a unique situation in our world, from across the Middle East arrive en masse in the heart of the land of Israel. They are not even truly refugees. The UNRWA mandate has just been renewed again. So they can spend another 80 years keeping the Palestinian people as so-called refugees in Lebanon and Jordan, against all the norms, against all the international common norms, feeding generation after generation with the dream of destroying Israel. Countless Israeli governments have tried to further this idea of a two-state solution, and it has never been met by anything other than Palestinian rejection. Even Netanyahu, as a prime minister, made countless overtures to Abbas. He gave the Bar-Ilan speech and froze building in the Jewish settlements in Judea and Samaria. But the Palestinians never even sat seriously to negotiate. They are not interested in ending the conflict. They are interested in teaching their children how to hate and how to kill Jews with rocks, cars, knives, guns, bombs, and rockets. Abbas knows the truth that after decades of incitement and brainwashing, the Palestinians are not ready to accept peace with Israel. And without these issues, which is directly connected to education, will be dealt, we will never see progress. Friends, the two-state solution is a slogan. It's an illusion. The sooner this is understood around the world, the sooner the international community can become a true partner, help finding real solutions. That is the strategic dialogue we should be having. We have to start to speak about a regional solution, one that is also based on participation of Jordan and Egypt. And when I speak about participation, it's not to join to the Palestinian position, put all the burden on the shoulders of Israel. But they are, and they should be, a key partners in this process. It must be based on a Palestinian autonomy, not a sovereign state, linked to the kingdom of Jordan. And the Palestinians in Judea and Samaria, as you know, was citizens of Jordan until the citizenship was cancelled unilaterally by King Hussein in 1988, a move which was totally against international law. A solution must or can include a trilateral cooperation, Jordanian, Israeli, Palestinians, on economy, on tourism, on the environment. Do not allow slogans and out-of-date paradigms to prevent realistic understanding of the situation. I will stand firm on the rights of the Jewish people in our homeland, and I will never compromise the security of our people. Let me be clear. Between the river and the sea, there will not be any other sovereign state other than Israel. As friends of Israel, I think we must be clear with what we can afford and with what we can offer. We need to come together in the understanding that we cannot surrender our security, our future, the future of our children. This needs to be the base for any future realistic negotiations for the peace and future of the region. Then you can argue whether we have a partners to solve the conflict by such an idea of a regional solution. I would argue, did we solve it with the previous idea during the last 80 years? Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, Gideon. That was a seminal speech, and I'm sure it'll be very widely reported in the Israeli media in the next couple of days. And far be it from me to ever express a particular opinion about another state's political situation, but the best of luck in your voting in the next week here in Israel for the Likud. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will have our main course, and then we'll return, and Nat Saruf will give us a taste of the concert that she's going to perform later this evening. And just after that, we'll hear from Christian Porter, the Australian Attorney General, and Lord Pickles on behalf of the UK. Please enjoy your meals.